Well, let's get started. Now, here's the interesting thing. Companies like Time Warner Cable, companies like AT&T, I mean, just about every company is out there, and they're getting caught red-handed overcharging you. And overcharging you for things really isn't a smart deal for the consumer. The consumer ends up paying extra. And you think, well, it's just these big companies. It doesn't affect me really that much. Well, it's everyone. I mean, USA Today did an amazing article that a lot of people avoid going for healthcare, especially the dentist, because they don't want to be overcharged. And one little tip or trick there, I mean, I'll start with one very simply. If you are not fully insured, when you go to your dentist, you can tell them that you'll be paying cash, you'll be paying by check, or you'll be paying by credit card for the entire service that they render for you. And they will give you a discount because you are not going through an insurance company. Not only because that's a lot of paperwork and a lot of extra things that have to happen on their end to go perfectly for them to be paid by the insurance company, but in addition to that, they understand that their service is expensive and they're going to be a little flexible on price. And they're going to do you a favor if you just tell them what your situation is, not quite having enough insurance or not being insured at all. Dentists really like to do that. So does this look familiar to anyone? Take a look at this. Because you're saying, well, maybe it's the big companies, Time Warner. I don't have Time Warner. I have DirecTV or Dish Network. I don't have AT&T like that article said. I have Verizon, or I have Sprint, or I have T-Mobile, I have Cricket. But guess what? Every one of these companies are doing the same thing to you, because you get the bills just like in these pictures and you say, oh my God, what's that overcharge? What's that extra charge? What's that line item? Who went over on their data? Who made too many calls? Who was downloading too many videos? Why are they charging me for this? And you just really don't know until you open that bill. And then what do you do about it? Well, I'm going to call Time Warner on Monday. I'm going to call Verizon on Tuesday. Or I'm going to call XM Sirius Radio next Friday. Or our renewal is up and I'll take care of that renewal. Then next Friday goes by and all 4 Fridays next month go by, and then 4 months goes by, and then it's too late to get those line item charges off there because you've forgotten. Or maybe now it's just not painful enough because you forgot about it. And until the next time when you go through that whole process again, of which you never call to get the charges taken off. So that's what we do for you, because you may not have the time, the energy, the effort. You may not have the confidence, know what to say, who to call. We take care of that for you because we're sick and tired of seeing the consumer or the client, the end user, the individual, businesses alike. We're just sick and tired of people getting eaten alive. And I'm not going to stand by and allow it to happen any longer. And that's really the reason why I started the company called the Saving Swami. And what I'm going to tell you about the Saving Swami is exactly how I got it started. But I just want to tell you a little bit about my background first, just so you know where I came from and kind of the angle that I'm taking here and why I'm taking it. I started a company called 25 Silver. It's a company that has multiple mall locations. It's a jewelry store. I started it, owned it, operated, and ran it with my wife for over 15 years. I sold that business. That business is still in existence now and has been around the Capital District for over 20 years. It's a great company. New owner is awesome. He's thriving. He's got triple or quadruple the locations that I had when I had the company, and he's just blown it up and he's doing great. Company was built on such a good foundation. During my time at 25 Silver, I was very familiar with local malls, negotiating local leases, permanent and temporary. Lots of things that go into negotiating. The 25 Silver negotiating alone was 30 different temporary leases over the 15 years that I was there. I invested some money in some Mr. Smoothie franchises. A couple partners and I, we owned 4 Mr. Smoothie franchises in 3 different states. That was a really cool business. We owned those for over a decade. I went from my jewelry stores that I sold in 2010 and the smoothie businesses. I rotated into a wonderful network marketing company, and I worked really hard for about 6 years around the clock in that particular company for 5 years, specifically around the clock, building a network marketing business and trying to help as many people, empowering as many people, building up as many people, and growing an organization as large as I possibly could. And that brings me now to the Saving Swami. And I'm going to tell you the story. It's not a great story, but the ending has a great ending, because now we're helping every single person that we come in contact with. We're helping them save money, and it's win-win-win. It's like a million wins. And how the Saving Swami was born was all because of a bad faith claim with an insurance company. They did not do the right thing. They tried to take advantage of my wife. My wife, that's literally a picture of my wife's car. She got in a small accident, and the car was totaled, even though it doesn't look like total damage there. It's not the one all the way on the left where there's nothing left but part of a frame. It's the one in the middle. next to the truck. And she got into a small accident, but all the airbags in the car deployed. When all the airbags deployed, because it's so expensive to recalibrate them, the computers and everything, generally they totaled the car. Her front airbags, both side airbags, everything went off. They totaled the car. We got an email from the insurance company saying that the car was totaled, it was being paid off, and you can come pick up your check anytime. When I looked at the check, I immediately knew something was wrong because I had gone all the way to New Jersey. I purchased this car wholesale, and I had a boatload of equity in the car. And I looked at the check, and I know you're not supposed to make any money when there's an insurance claim, but after the deductible, which was $500 at this for this particular vehicle, after the deductible, you're supposed to be made whole again. And being made whole again means you replace the car with something that's identical or very, very similar. And I looked at the payoff amount, and I was like, I cannot possibly, my wife cannot possibly replace the car for the same amount of money as they're giving on the check. So I called and I asked the adjuster, and he said, well, Greg, you know, that's the amount of money. I did the adjustment myself, and that's the amount of money that you guys are going to get. I said, well, something doesn't make any sense because I can't replace a car for that amount of money. Why don't you send me over the paperwork? And he says, this is the greatest. He said, well, I can send it over to you, but you're probably not going to understand it. I said, well, try me. And he sends me over the paperwork, and I immediately saw that he did not give her credit for any of the options on the car. She had heated seats, sunroof, navigation, Bluetooth, sport pack, you name it. The car was loaded. So I call him back and I said, I think I found the problem. He said, well, I don't understand. I said, well, you didn't give her credit for any of the options. So he said, all right, well, guess what I have to do now, Greg? Now I have to submit the VIN number to BMW and find out what options were on the car. I was thinking to myself, shouldn't he have done that first before he gave us the payoff on the vehicle? But he didn't. Calls me back in the afternoon, all apologetic. I'm so sorry. I don't want you to think we do business this way. Went through the whole deal. And he said, we've come up with a new amount, including all of the options. Well, his mistake that I caught with a simple 10-minute phone call, just by asking the question and always questioning everything, it was a $4,700 mistake. So we received a check for an additional $4,700 just because I asked him, what's going on with this payoff? It is not accurate. Companies are doing this all the time. And all I thought about was, what about the single mom at home? What about the parents where the husband's out of town? What about the folks who are running one child to soccer practice, one to dance, one to baseball? They get an email, there's a payoff. Oh my God, thank God. The car accident was my fault. At least we're getting a check. Now we can put this behind us and get a new car. Not thinking at all that they're literally being shortchanged by almost $5,000. And I can only imagine this happening all the time. And it got me so upset, so emotional, and so passionate about this project that I'm now reaching out to every single person. I will not leave a stone unturned. We're going to help every single person that we touch save money. That's our mission, and that's our vision statement. The Saving Swami is predicting you will always pay less, and you can count on it. So let's look at some of the people who are paying less because of the Saving Swami. There we go. We've got Ann V in Saratoga. Her Time Warner bill was $168. We lowered it to $156. She saved $138 for the year. Here's a Verizon bill, yearly saving $668.16. And here's a good friend of ours, Colleen P. up in Boston Spa. Colleen happens to be on the webinar right now. I asked her if I could possibly have her say a word here. Andrea, do you think we can get her on in a second? Yeah. Okay, this is great. So Colleen, just between Time Warner Cable and Verizon, with some very, very tough negotiating with these companies because they don't go down without a fight. I promise you, they don't go down without a fight. We saved Colleen over $1,300 just between these two bills. But let me, what do I do here? Do I unmute? Go to manage participants. There's Colleen. I'm going to unmute Colleen. Colleen, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So we're looking at this $1,300 savings. I kind of, if I didn't do it myself, I might not believe it.
Yeah, no, it was great. I got those copies of those bills to you, and within, gosh, I think about 36 hours, you had the savings for me, and you got back to me, and it was done. It was like instant savings. It was just wonderful, and I was so excited. And again, I couldn't believe it. I thought there had to be something had to be wrong, but I didn't lose any coverage. I actually added. It was wonderful.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for you know, that thumbs up. And we work really hard for you, and we're just so happy that you're able to enjoy those savings. And hopefully we can get to a couple thousand more people just like yourself and save them the same or even more. But any amount of savings, I mean, this is incredible savings for sure. Any amount of savings is positive. So that we're always looking to lower every single bill. It doesn't matter if it's $5 a month or it's $75 a month or it's $500 a month. It doesn't even matter. Or in my wife's case, saving almost $5,000 that was basically not on the table that we got put back on the table. So that's super cool. Thanks so much, Colleen. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So I'm fiddling with this. Andrea, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So we're just going to keep going here. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so why am I going the wrong way? Okay, hold on just a second. I'm going the wrong way. This is awesome. I love it. Okay, so there's Colleen. So here's the thing. Other services that we do for our people, we do pretty much anything. But we start with the cable TV, we start with the cell phone, we start with the internet, we start with the satellite radio. That's the low-hanging fruit for us because we know that it's over 90% of the people in every household, no matter how wealthy or wise you are, you're being overcharged for one or all of those bills each and every month. So we try to build the relationship with the client by getting those bills lowered first, and then you're going to ask us for other stuff. You're going to look at the list of services that we negotiate, and all of a sudden something is going to pop into your head. We want the Saving Swami services to be on the forefront of your mind at all times so we can negotiate any and all bills that you have come into your household, fixed or variable, every single month. Now, this is Eric Smallman. This is a little quick testimonial. Eric is a buddy of mine. He lives in Waterford. I live in Waterford, New York. And Eric is an architect, and he's, as architects are, to be very successful at his profession, he has to be detail-oriented. Eric called Time Warner. And I encouraged him to call Time Warner, and he negotiated his bill lower, which was very good. And I said, hey, let me just take a look at it. After you negotiated it lower, we went in and we saved him a few more dollars. So he ended up saving some more money. Eric's a really great guy. He's one of the Swami's clients, and I'm just so happy he's saving money. Got a couple other people that we know and trust that are very, very close to us who have taken advantage of the Swami services. So we just like to tell you, doesn't matter your background, your education, your walk of life, again, how wealthy or wise you are, whatever bills that you have, we have the ability to help just about everybody with just almost about any bill. And it's no cost to you. Any bill that you have that you send our way, we evaluate it for free. It's a complimentary service. We do not charge you to arrive at the bargaining table whatsoever. We're compensated once and only when we lock in the savings for you. So it's a great, great situation. We look at your bill, we evaluate your bill, we make a recommendation of what we think we should be doing as far as negotiating that lower, and then we go to the bargaining table for you.